What's been going on with EOS lately? We were in the midst of a very sharp correction in EOS, along with other cryptocurrencies last time we did an update. However, we are seeing some bullish signs that this correction is over, not only in EOS, but across the crypto universe. On our 1 hour chart, you'll see that I have removed the alternate blue pattern that we used to have, and the purple is the primary pattern. And that pattern has this rally that ended on September 6th as a 5-wave impulse. And we had a deep correction for our wave 2, which took us all the way down to about $3.64. We not only broke the 61.8% standard retrace on the A wave alone, but after the B wave bounce, we crashed right through the 76.4% retrace as well, which was at about 393. And I had a warning here posted for that level. The reason I didn't panic or worry too much is that most of the crypto universe did not pull back below those levels, and we remained very bullish in Bitcoin and Ethereum, which set the tone for the sentiment across the entire sector. In addition, in Elliott wave theory, a wave 2 can, by the textbook, retrace nearly 100% of the entire wave 1. It's not the most bullish sign typically, but it certainly fits within the rules of Elliott waves. Now it appears that we have a rally in place. I have a subwave 1 and a wave 2 posted here. This looks like it might be 5 up. Kind of see a 1, 2, a 3, sideways 4th wave, and a 5th wave, possibly. Not the strongest sign, and we actually seem to have a zigzag correction in place as well. A, B, C, that would be a retrace for the second wave, and it fell to almost 61.8% retrace, which again is the standard for the 1, 2. With that being said, this is a fantastic time to buy if you're trying to top up some positions, or if you've been putting off making a purchase. If you've been dollar cost averaging, props to you. You're doing the smart thing. Our support right now will be the former low of around 364, but I really would not like this to drop too much deeper than we already have in this microsecond wave. On the big picture, when we look at the MACD, we'll see that it dipped well below zero during this correction, and it's already reset to zero ever since. In previous updates, I covered how this entire structure I consider a large impulsive wave, and because of the depth of the correction since our peak that we hit in May of 2021, this really looks like a wave 2 to me, which is a good thing for EOS and several other altcoins. It means that we are entering the strongest part of the rally, which was previously marked with the blue-green notation. However, you'll see that I have cleaned up this chart and I've removed the ultra bullish green pattern that I had here before that would correspond to a much faster rally taking shape. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't get that high. It just means that things will take a bit longer. This purple pattern, of course, has our rally and correction marked as a subwave 1 and 2 of a larger impulse pattern. And I have a Fibonacci extension tool built out here. And this, of course, varies from the other chart in that this is all logarithmic. So the numbers project out differently here. If we hold support and begin to rally, our subwave 3 is projecting out to between 1082 and 1302. If we hit 1082, the minimum target for the subwave 3, we're looking at a nearly 2.5x return from where we are at this moment. I would like to note, however, that there are strong resistances at both the 0.382 extension of this larger 1, 2, which is at 775, and 1039, which is the 0.5 extension. I would not be surprised if we bumped our heads on those and didn't make it through on the first attempt, provided that we consolidate in a sideways 4th wave and hold support. Our subwave 5 has a range of different targets here. Based on this Fibonacci extension, we're looking at targets between 1459 and 1756. Hitting 1459 would give us a 3x return. However, just as with the subwave 3 targets, the subwave 5 target would have us passing through a very strong resistance at 1393, which is, of course, the 0.618 extension of this larger 1, 2 pattern. So if we make it through the 0.618 extension, which I would mark as a high probability at the moment, we don't have any more resistance until we get to the 0.764 extension of overhead, which is right around the $20 mark. And of course, with cryptos frequently experiencing 5th wave extension blowoffs, I would definitely consider this a relatively high probability. And if we make it all the way up there to $20, we're looking at a nearly 4.5x return from where we are at this moment. What happens after we hit that top? Just as with the updates I've made in many of my other cryptos, we should see a pretty gnarly crash after this subwave 1 top. Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to lead. They're hitting a major top along with several of the older cryptos that have been around longer. We should see a colossal destructive crash in those two cryptos, whereas in these altcoins, I would expect something a bit shallower, but shallower doesn't necessarily mean comfortable. It's going to be a very uncomfortable pullback. So that would be a good time to take profits and possibly reallocate into other investments across different asset classes. That wave 2 correction, depending on where it falls, this is just approximate, not meant to be exact, would be a grand buying opportunity that could get us much higher over the following year or two. You can kind of see at the edge of my screen, there's a 36x return. If we hit a larger subwave 3 target, we're not going to talk about that right now because we are working on this particular impulse. I would like to note, of course, that there is the red alternate bearish pattern, and this would call for a lower low. I'm going to leave this on the chart because it hasn't invalidated, but it's a very small possibility at this moment. If you've enjoyed my video, please remember to like, and if you'd like continued updates on EOS and various other cryptos, as well as education and portfolio allocation analyses, please subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.